Team of Glenn Holstein and Daniel Traub have followed Ye's work since 1988 and provide an inspiring film that is sometimes painful in its honesty, but always as hopeful as Ye's unyielding faith in the power of art to restore the individual spirit and rebuild shattered communities. The barefoot artist moves back and forth through time to tell two interconnected stories. The story of Ye's life from her youth in China and to her development as an artist in the U.S., as well as the story of how her international projects saved not only the people of those communities, but also Ye herself. She says, quote, "I didn't go there to help people. I was the one who needed help," Ye confesses. "I came from a broken place. Life breaks all of us," end quote. Ye's brokenness comes from her father's impulsive decision to leave his first wife and their children to marry Ye's mother. Although Ye's father, a dashing officer in the Chinese army, and Ye's mother, a member of the upper class, soon discover their incompatibility after the initial infatuation wears off. They remain together in their own broken way and leave that abandoned first family to face the wrath of the Communist Party retaliating against the father's involvement in the pre-Mao army. Ye eventually came to America to pursue art, married tragically young as well, and struggled to balance the challenges of a career and family, including her young son and her aging father as he faced Alzheimer's disease. Quote, "I often felt that I had to live two persons' lives," end quote. Ye says of her need not only to find her voice as an artist, but also to somehow realize the failed promise of her father's life, which seems like one slow decline after his glory days defending his homeland during the Sino-Japanese War. Along the way, Ye's own marriage unravels. Later, she places a large share of the burden of caring for her ill father on her much too young son. Knowing that her son Daniel is working behind the camera as they discuss their family history can be painful for the viewer. But the overall effect of honesty and sharing is so beautifully overwhelming that it's worth the discomfort to see how, as Ye later says, quote, "tranquility is right at the edge of the chaos," end quote. Just as Ye walks barefoot through her and her son's dark times to reach the light of peace, she strives to make amends to her father's first family by returning to China and sharing her father's diaries with her half-siblings. The whole history of the 20th century is one of war and division, but Ye allows her family-specific history to serve as a case study, not just of how lives were broken, but also how lives can be rebuilt, regardless of the passage of time or distances between borders. Interspersed with that personal family stories are scenes from Ye's travels around the world to rebuild communities through art. In 1986, Arthur Hall, founder of the Afro-American Dance Ensemble, asked Ye to create a park in the abandoned lot next to his studio in North Philadelphia. Through archival footage, we see Ye work with local children and adults to create mosaic murals and sculptured trees. That park eventually becomes the Village of Arts and Humanities, which took the concept of that original project and brought it to similar communities, facing the blight of poverty and the warlike conditions of urban crime, who sorely needed the grace and beauty of Ye's art. It's almost too symbolic the way that Ye and the children break up pottery into shards so as to reassemble the pieces into mosaics. Similarly, when Ye outlines the bodies of women who have survived the Rwandan genocide of 1994, the symbolism of celebrating and affirming their physical survival is too powerful for words. At the Rwanda Genocide Survivors Village in Rugero, Rwanda, Ye provides that art materials to the women who survived countless horrors to allow them to tell their story. "We are drawing and releasing our sadness," one survivor says. "After finishing the drawing, I felt the heaviness leave my heart, and I wanted to keep drawing." When Ye works with the locals to turn the shed-like mass grave of those killed during the genocide into a genocide memorial park full of color and creativity, you get the full effect of the power of Ye's artistic practice. Quote, "It was like killing us twice," end quote, one local says of the earlier mass grave. Although the memorial park doesn't bring the dead back, it does allow the living to live again, never free of the memories, of course, but now inspired by the possibility of transformation. In Kenya, a settlement built beside an immense trash dump, Ye worked with locals on a mural titled Warrior Angel. As the barefoot artist proves, Lily Ye herself is a warrior angel. Her angelic smile and spirit, childlike optimism coexist perfectly with the warrior within, working long hours as an advocate for these forgotten, broken places and people. She quotes her military father as once saying, "To lead soldiers, one must lead their hearts." Likewise, to lead these people to create these communal art projects, Ye first leads their hearts, a general with a paintbrush. It's a cruel irony that Ye works in some of the hardest dust-bitten places in Africa to create those artistic oases. Chinese landscape painting calls the dustless places. But it's precisely in those neglected, dusty corners that such work is most direly needed. The barefoot artist is like a spring cleaning of the soul, a breath of fresh air that will restore your belief in the restoration power of art. So, she says, the artist Lily Ye talking to residents of Rwanda Genocide Survival Village in Rwanda. You can look at that on bigthink.com/picture with a capital P dash this with a capital T /how dash making dash art dash can dash rebuild dash broken dash communities. And many thanks to the makers of the Barefoot Artist for providing me with the image above and their materials related to the film. The trailer for the film can be seen also on this site. A list of upcoming screenings can be found also on this site. And you can also purchase the DVD here. So when we come back, we gonna roll up out of here. That was our quote for the day. And yeah, so we good on that, y'all. Any shout outs, Miss Ronda? Any last words before we get out of here?
I want to shout out to my son Elijah Anderson, Mariah Anderson, Brittany Williams, Messiah Gooden, King, Zariah, Mimi, Ariana. But first, before all that, God, and first and foremost.
Amen.
Thank God for life and new beginnings and a new start. And just thank everybody. If I have not mentioned your name, please don't take it personal. 9 out of 10, that means you have not been helping me with this project. So I'm solely focused on those that is really dedicated into helping one another. I'm really starting to surround myself with people that want the same thing, you know, out of life and just want to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. So if I didn't say your name, please don't think I'm saying it purposely, because I'm not. That just means that we're not working as one on this project. But I hope one day you will be. I love you guys. God bless you. Bye.
And on that note, that's all I really had to say. Good afternoon, morning, and evening. And I will see you soon. Peace.
We are now transferring you to a customer care rep. Please hold the line and we will answer your call as soon as possible. Thank you for choosing us. By the way, to ensure you're getting great service, your call may be recorded or monitored.